Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Westside.
You know who didn't roll? The Patriots and Cam Newton. They were really good a few days ago. They were not good in this game.
Bill, I wanted to ask you about just the quarterback. Are you going to stick with Cam next week at quarterback?
Yeah, great question, Mike. I'm really glad you asked that. Cam's our quarterback.
I mean, you're talking about 3 plays in a row where they're just trying to slam it up there with Cam Newton. That's just not going to get it done. This Patriots offense has got a lot of work to do in a short period of time.
You heard SportsCenter's John Anderson there talk about that other Cam Akers that the country got introduced to last night, the rookie second-round pick, $171 on the ground, best rookie rushing performance in one game for any first-year player this year. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin presented by Progressive Insurance, and we're coming to you live from above the Heineken River deck at Pier 17. But let's start by talking about the guy that was handing that football off to Cam Akers. That would be Jared Goff. He had one blemish last night, fellas, but besides that, he thought he played pretty well.
Overall, I think outside of the interception, which, if I get the ball outside, was it a pick? Was it not? I don't know. But if I get the ball outside, throw it accurately, it doesn't matter. And that was the one I wish I had back tonight. But other than that, thought I did a good job handling the game.
Well, Jared, I'll tell you it was a pick.
We can confirm that it was an interception.
Exactly. And much like I said earlier, that was really the only play that said, and it was a great play by Miles Bryant to go get that interception. But like I said, put the ball in front, not behind. We won't even be having this conversation. Jared Goff is playing pretty good football, man. And I know he's 11 interceptions on the year. Discount the one last night. Great play by the defender. Typically, that ball is either caught or hits the turf. So I take that one away. He gets 10. Out of those 10 interceptions, there's been games where he's thrown multiple interceptions in, a handful, 2 or 3. And so when you start to look at that, you get rid of that Miami game and you get rid of that 49er game, and he's having a pretty good season. I mean, and then you talk about over the body of work over his career, get rid of the Jeff Fisher year. That's a throwaway, right? That wasn't – he came in 6 games ago.
Todd Gurley called it a high school offense that Jeff Fisher was running.
Like, get rid of that. But since he's had Sean McVay, the guy's been lights out. He's gone to the Pro Bowls, gone to the Super Bowl, led his team to the Super Bowl, led them to New Orleans. They beat the Saints. He goes on. He loses to Bill Belichick, but a lot of teams have lost to Bill Belichick. There's not anything to be mad about in terms of that. And he's just having a pretty good football year, a football season. I see where he can lead this team to a Super Bowl as the starting quarterback and make enough plays throughout the course of the season to get them there. This offense has a lot of different designs, the things that they do. Sean's really good at motioning guys or hiding certain things in formations to make you think it's one thing when it's another. So I like the direction that Jared Goff is headed in. The one thing that I would say after I said all that is just don't turn the ball over, man. That's all you got to do. Don't fumble it and don't give it to the other team in a different color, and you'll be fine.
I mean, the question that everybody had, coming into that game last night was, why do we need to think that Jared Goff needs to be legendary status of a quarterback in order for them to win a championship? He doesn't need to be Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't need to be Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you can go back. Rex Grossman got his team. I mean, their defense got their team to a Super Bowl, but I mean, serviceable, right? There's a lot of quarterbacks who have been serviceable who have gotten their teams to the Super Bowl.
That is correct, but Jared Goff is above serviceable.
I'm not saying that he's Rex Grossman. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he doesn't need to be the elite of the elite in order to help this team win. Their team is going to win a Super Bowl if they do because of their defense, and he needs to play well in certain points of the game.
He has the ability, though, at times, if they need him to be that guy.
Elevate.
He can elevate. If they need him to be the guy to push it, he could do it. When I put – look, a
Joe
lot
Flacco,
of people –
the Ravens, I mean, prime example, stuff like that happens,
He hit
right?
at the right time. Joe Flacco hit at the right time. I played on the Bucs team and we won the Super Bowl. And so many of you think that it was all the defense.
Are we the media? Who are we? Who are you and you? Who's that?
Meaning like
the
fans.
media?
Fans. I'm saying fans.
Okay.
Not the media Screedia. But I'm talking about the fans. They think it was all the defense. Oh, my God, it was Simeon Rice and Derek Brooks and Rondé Barber and John Lynch. That's how they won the Super Bowl. Because it was a defensive-built team. That's all we talked about was our defense. So one of the most underrated defenses in Super Bowl winning history. But our defense was lights out. One of the top 5 defenses in Super Bowl history. It's not even close. There's no question about it. But our offense sputtered along until we got toward the end of the season. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, we clicked and we was lights out. Once we got into the playoffs, the offense, we just rolled. Defense give us the ball back. We go down the field, score a touchdown. Let's keep it moving. And this is what could happen to Jared Goff. This is what could happen to the Rams. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs last year, their defense was struggling. But as they got toward the end, they got better and better and better. And then when they got in the playoffs, they gave up the yams early on. Then they crushed it in the second half of games. They gave the ball back to Patrick Mahomes. He go down the field, he scored. Rest is history.
Let me give you a couple of good stats. I think you'd appreciate this, being LA born and bred, Key, and I think this name is really going to make you smile this morning. So the Rams win, and they get their 9th win of the season. So they've now clinched a winning season. Worst they can be is 9-7. This is the 4th straight year they've had a winning season. So as soon as McVay has come on board, it's more wins than losses.
You don't even need to go to rest.
Go for it.
The only guy to ever do it is John Robinson.
There you go. The last time the Rams...
See how I did that?
Mm-hmm. The last time the Rams had 4 straight winning seasons, 83, 84, 85, 86. As I do recall, they had a guy that could tote the rock back in the day. I think his name was Eric Dickerson, if I'm not mistaken. He was something else. And John Robinson, a guy you know really well. And obviously that Rams team in the middle of that 4-year stretch did get to an NFC championship game. I think they lost to the Bears that year in the Bears Super Bowl season.
Oh, yeah. They beat the Giants, though.
That's right. Yeah. But
you don't have to point to me.
No, I just remember as a kid, Flipper Anderson going through the tunnel.
Oh, Flipper Anderson, great one. Great wide receiver, Flipper Anderson. So once again, from the 83 to 86, they've done it, and they've now done it here in the 4 years of the McVay era. On the other side, the other quarterback, we're asking the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin Nation on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed whether the Patriots should stick with Cam and why or why not. 64% of the fellas and the ladies have weighed in. 64% clear. Nope. Including Jay. How about this? Here's your thought on this. AFritz440 at AFritz440 hitting us up on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed. Quote, I'm not Vince Lombardi or Bill Belichick, but I do have 2 eyes. And those eyes tell me that man cannot play the QB position at a high level no more in the NFL. It is almost like the game is too fast for him nowadays.
I feel so bad.
What's his name?
AFritz at 440.
He's not wrong.
440.
He's not wrong. And I want to root for Cam, but he's not wrong. I mean, you look at him, it just doesn't seem like it's going to work. 2015 MVP. Just watching this year is, it's.
Don't be looking at me, Zubin.
Key, look, it's bad. It's really bad.
It wasn't good last night, and it didn't look good. But I guess because I'm looking at it differently, I see the issues. Like the interception. Like I see that issue.
But it feels like we're starting to make excuses.
There's no excuse. That's not an excuse. It's a fact. The running back was grabbed by Aaron Donald. It's a pick. So the first thing I thought, man, this dude done threw. I can't deal with Cam. The hell you throw that pick? But then when I went back and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's how the interception pick 6 happened. So when you first see it in live action, it goes interception Cam. They never went back and said, diagrammed it up and showed you exactly what happened. So I'm thinking this dude done threw the ball to a blind spot, not paying attention. Yes, it sounds like an excuse, Jay, but the fact is Aaron Donald made the play, not Cam Newton. Aaron Donald held the back. Therefore, the defender was able to step in and get the pick 6. Cam down at the goal line, 3 straight runs, trying dive plays with Cam Newton, or just because he's big. That, to me, is a Josh Daniels mistake. Like, get down there and don't get so spooked. Mm-hmm. Let's try to do it. Or let's put some points on the board and kick some field goals. So a lot of that sort of stuff was coaching to me.